best to shelter her princess from cares they had known. No dreams allowed in their tower of stone. No giants, no fairies, no elves from the north. No storybook heroes who boldly set forth. Once upon Central Park West, a man in that tower embarked on a quest. No storybook hero, but he longed to see an ending as happy can be. Where dreamers and lovers wear hearts on their sleeve, where daughters and mothers believe that ending was put to the test. Once upon Central Park West.
Dear Santa, it's been years since I was a young girl living in the city on that street known as Central Park West. But I'm watching Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on my TV. And of course, thoughts turn to you and the time when the miracle happened. Who knew how much my life would change after Mother replaced a tipsy parade Santa on that crisp November morning? It's hard to believe it was so long, long ago.
Unbelievable! She's too good to be true. What a hit! He knocked me out, Mrs. Walker. We owe it all to you.
Thank you, Mr. Macy. Just when I thought that Macy's parade wouldn't have a Santa Claus, there he was! I had to hire him!
Unbelievable! Moms and dads will agree he's a hit. And they will buy Mrs. Walker. We'll soon make history.
If you say so, Mr. Macy.
This Santa is by far the best that I have ever seen. And now our shining star will turn old Mr. Gimble green.
Oh, Mr. Sawyer. And how is everything in the personnel department?
Delightful. And speaking of personnel, this Santa you so spontaneously hired, why, he doesn't even need padding. Oh, but Mrs. Walker, what do you really know about him?
Not all that much, I'm afraid. But if you have any questions, you can ask him yourself. There he is now. Hello, Chris.
Chris?
Kringle.
Chris Kringle? Really?
All set for your first day?
The Macy employees are very kind, but you must tell Mr. Macy to rearrange the reindeer in your Broadway windows. He has Dasher and Dancer mixed up, and Blitzen is always on my left.
We'll be sure to let him know. I never knew a cane was part of the Santa get-up.
Do you like it? This cane and I are great friends. It's as much a part of me as the red suit and reindeer. I wouldn't be the same without it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All sales clerks and elves should report to their areas immediately.
Well, it's time to see the children. Isn't this exciting?
Thrilling.
Good luck, Chris.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Good morning, boys and girls. That jolly man from the North Pole has just returned from feeding his reindeer. If you wish to visit with Santa, please join the line that is forming next to our wide assortment of value-priced games and toys. Thank you and Merry Christmas!
Annie, you wait right there while Mommy has her own talk with Santa. That's right, stay there and don't move. So, Santa, it was very sweet of you to promise my darling Danny those expensive skates he's been asking for. Don't you know you can't find them anywhere? Not here at Macy's or anywhere else.
Ah, but madam, if you just head over to Gimbel's, you will find the roller skates your little Danny desires. And at a very good price, too.
I don't get it. Macy's Santa is sending me to another store?
What's more important, madam? December profits or a child's happiness?
I don't get it. It's really great, but I don't get it. Danny, where are you?
This way, Susan. The line for Santa is over here.
Why is there a line, Mr. Gailey?
That's part of the fun. Why, Susan Walker, your mother works here and she never takes you to see Santa?
Oh, no. She says he's just for gullible children.
Well, I hope she won't mind that I brought you here when your sitter called in sick.
Oh, Mother won't mind. She's always much too busy working at the store.
Well, you must see Santa.
Why, hello there. And what's your name?
Susan Walker. What's yours?
Santa Claus. Oh, you don't believe in me.
My mother hired you. But I like your beard. It doesn't have one of the strings that goes behind the ears.
Go ahead and pull it. Ouch! You see, it's real, just like I'm really Santa Claus. And what would you like for Christmas?
My mother will buy me something. She gets 10% off. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Susan. And thank you for bringing her to see me, Mr. Gailey.
Well, her mother wouldn't like it. I've grown rather fond of Mrs. Walker, but I feel that... Say, who told you my name was...
They need us, Mr. Gailey.
Who?
Susan Walker and her mother. And Santa Claus needs them. If I can't convince them to believe in me, I'm afraid my time is finished.
Well, Santa, I'll do what I can.
Here's wishing. A wish speaks its own language, and Santa knows it well. So come and sit beside me with a wish you wish to tell. Come and whisper your sweet secret that you long for on my sleigh. A wish speaks its own language, and it's answered Christmas Day. What would you like for Christmas?
Dear Santa Claus, I have a wish I wish to tell. It's a dream I dream forever. Here's a hope I hope is well. Oh, I know how good I've been and just how good I'll be. And so I wish to find my wish beneath the Christmas tree.
¡Feliz Navidad, Papá Noel!
¡Feliz Navidad! ¿Qué deseas en esta Navidad?
Una bicicleta roja y brillante.
¿Te has portado bien?
Sí, me he portado muy bien, Papá Noel.
Bueno, escuche a su madre y Papá Noel verá lo que puede hacer.
Gracias, Papá Noel. Gracias.
A wish speaks its own language, and Santa knows it well. So come and sit beside me with a wish you wish to tell. Come and whisper your sweet secret that you long for on my sleigh. A wish speaks its own language, and it's answered Christmas Day.
Joyeux Noel, Freudige Weihnachten, Merry Christmas, and so I wish to find my wish beneath the Christmas
Susan, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, Mother. Mr. Gailey brought me to see Mr. Kringle.
Did he? And where is Mr. Gailey now?
He went to buy a Christmas gift. Mother, can we invite Mr. Kringle to our house for dinner? And Mr. Gailey, too?
Susan.
Oh, please, Mother. Mr. Kringle's just like you said. A nice old man with whiskers.
Mrs. Walker and Susan, still here. Did you think of something to wish for?
No, but...
Chris, we were wondering if you would like to come over to our apartment for dinner. Susan thought you might enjoy a good home-cooked meal.
We'll order Chinese.
How exotic.
You'll have to excuse me. I have an outside appointment. Susan, why don't you meet me in my office and tell Mr. Gailey to call me as soon as he can.
How was your day, Mr. Kringle?
The toy orders are certainly going to keep me busy.
You won't be making the toys.
I've made quite a few in my day, but I do have plenty of helpers. And now the really big question is, what do you do on your day off from school?
Nothing much. The kids in my building play zoo, but I don't like to.
Why not?
They want me to be the monkey.
And?
I don't know how to be a monkey.
It's quite easy, really. You just have to use your imagination.
My what?
You've heard of the French nation and the British nation. Well, there's also a land called the Imagination. A wonderful place. You can be a monkey in the zoo. Fly on the magic carpet, drive a bus to Timbuktu. In the imagination, every dream is coming true. And you can be a monkey in the zoo.
But how do I be a monkey?
It's as simple as can be, and it's barrels of fun, too. Lift your chin, hunch your back, swing your arms like so.
Like this?
Now scrunch your face, stick out your lip, and watch that monkey go. Don't forget to scratch. That's what attracts the others.
What others?
In the imagination, you don't have to be the only monkey.
I don't?
Oh no! There can be dozens and dozens of monkeys. Monkeys named Johnny and Amy and Billy and Mrs. Jones. And they might look a lot like you. Yes, you! Oh, don't look so surprised. Of course I'm talking to you. So everyone, prepare to be a monkey. Are you ready?
Lift your chin, hunch your back, swing your arms like so. Now scratch your face, stick out your lip, and watch that monkey go. Lift your chin, hunch your back, swing your arms like so. Now scratch your face, stick out your lip, and watch that monkey go.
Well done indeed. And don't forget to scratch.
Oh, like me, a monkey in the zoo. Flying on a magic carpet, drive a bus to Timbuktu.
In the imagination, every dream is coming true. And you can be a monkey. A what?
You're silly monkey.
Oh, you can be a monkey in the zoo.
I like the imagination, Mr. Kringle. Can we go there again?
You can go there whenever you wish, and you won't ever need a nickel for the subway. Now, I have one more really big question.
Yes?
What would you like for Christmas? And it doesn't have to come from Macy's.
I'd like a house.
Oh, a doll's house?
No, a real house. My house.
Susan, you can't expect me to bring you a real house.
If you're Santa, you can.
Just because every child doesn't get what he or she wants, doesn't mean there's no such thing as Santa.
That's what I thought you'd say.
A real house, huh? It's a tall order, but I'll do my best. And now, I'm looking forward to having dinner with my favorite monkey.
It's a deal.
And so then I say to him, I'm not asking for a whole lot of fancy presents, but a little bit of jewelry would certainly be nice. Now, I don't expect miracles, but what's wrong with my asking for a necklace with a nice set of matching earrings and a ring or two? I'm telling you this, Gladys.
Miss Davies!
Gladys, I'll call you back. Yes, Mr. Sawyer?
Is my next appointment here?
I'll see if he's in the waiting room. Anyone out there waiting for an appointment? Santa fellow that Mr. Sawyer says is... loved you in the parade. And you look so real, too. I bet you would bring me some jewelry if I asked you to. I'll tell Mr. Sawyer you're here. Wait just another minute.
Thank you. Hello. My name is Chris.
Oh, I know. My name is Alfred. I work in custodial services. That's a fancy word for janitor.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Alfred. What brings you here?
Oh, Mr. Sawyer likes to chat with me after lunch. He says I'm a special case.
A special case?
Yeah, I come here and talk about anything that pops in my head, and then Mr. Sawyer tells me what it means. But I don't always like to hear what he says.
Such as?
Well, at Christmas time, I like to dress up as Santa Claus at the Y. You know, it's just so great to see the smiles on the kids' faces.
I know what you mean.
Well, anyway, Mr. Sawyer says that guys who dress up like Santa must have done something bad earlier in their lives. He calls it a guilt complex.
Alfred, what do you believe in more? The advice of your Mr. Sawyer, or the joy you give to those children?
Oh, well, if I had my way, I'd play Santa all year long. I mean, after all, Christmas isn't just a day. It's a frame of mind.
That's the spirit.
I want to play Santa all through the year. I want to bring a little comfort, spread a whole lot of cheer. It's time I lend a hand throughout this great big land. I really, really need to play Santa. By the light of summer sunshine in the crisp autumn chill. Come every spring, I'll do my thing to bring goodwill. Watch me fill up all the stockings when and where I can. Hey, I may not drive a sleigh, but I can still be the man. I want to play Santa the whole year long. I want to see all children happy, help them grow big and strong. I can share this gift with you, let's make some dreams come true. We really, really need to play Santa. We really, really need to play Santa. Yes, break!
I bet that Mr. Sawyer never felt this kind of spirit a day in his life.
Well, why don't you ask him?
You bet I'll ask him, and a few other questions as well.
Share a gift from the heart, and let's do our part.
We really, really need to play Santa. We really, really need to play Santa.
Chris, here's your chance to ask those questions. Hello, Mr. Sawyer.
Alfred, what are you doing lurking about?
I'm not lurking. I have an appointment.
Can't you see I'm busy? You'll have to come back later.
Well, actually, Mr. Sawyer, I'm not so sure I have to come back at all.
What?
Well, from now on, I think I'll be having my chats with Chris. Merry Christmas, Mr. Sawyer.
Mr. Kringle.
Mr. Sawyer, I came here fully expecting to be amused at the series of questions you were going to put me through.
Such as?
Such as, who was the first president? George Washington. How many fingers do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand and eye coordination? It's as good as it can be. And who was Hannibal Hamlin? Old Abe Lincoln's first EP. Bet you didn't know that.
Yes. Well, quite frankly, Mr. Kringle.
I always pass these tests with flying colors. But, Mr. Sawyer, you have no business telling Alfred.
Any man who pretends to be Santa is
far less dangerous than the man I see standing before me.
Now, see here, I'm an authority on these matters, and I'll...
Authority? I have a great respect for professional psychologists, but a retail executive who pretends to know about such things? Well, I'm afraid there's only one way to get through to the likes of you.
Chris! Chris, where are you going?
Oh,
Mr. Sawyer, what happened?
unbelievable. He's too good to be true. What a hit! He knocked me out, Mrs. Walker. We owe it all to you. Yes, Mrs. Walker, I warned you he could be dangerous. And now, based on the lump on my head, you must agree that he should be fired at once.
Is it that serious?
Serious, my dear Mrs. Walker. Your Kringle is a nutcase. He's bonkers through and through. Send him packing to the place where loonies go. Bellevue.
I'm sorry to have bothered you, Fred, but Susan and I thought you might know someone in the courts who could help us.
I'll do my best. Chris may have been committed to Bellevue Hospital, but he's not insane.
You have to do something, Mr. Gailey.
As a proud junior partner of the law firm of Reardon, Lundgren, and Hall, I don't see how the doctors could even temporarily commit him based on Sawyer's testimony.
The doctor said he failed his test. I think Chris believes I'm responsible for putting him there,
And if he can't get you to believe in him, Santa's finished.
I didn't go along with Sawyer. How could I? But Sawyer went around me. Anyway, the hearing for permanent commitment is scheduled for Christmas Eve.
I'll be there. Question is, what then?
Mother, do you think Chris is feeling very sad?
Yes, dear, I think Chris must be feeling very sad.
I thought he might be, so I wrote him this letter to cheer him up. Dear Chris, I have a wish I wish to tell. It's a dream I've dreamed forever. Here's a hope, I hope you're well. Oh, I know just who you are, dear Santa, I believe. And so I wish to find my wish on your sleigh this Christmas Eve. I know what I want is too big to fit under the tree, but maybe you'll leave a note. Your good friend, Susan.
A letter to Santa? Susan, you just gave me an idea. A brilliant idea. Gotta go, Doris.
Where?
To see Chris, of course. I have to defend Santa Claus.
Will you take my letter to him?
Why don't we take it to him together?
Go ahead, dear.
Chris is so kind and jolly. He must be Santa, Mother. He must be.
What makes a miracle? What makes a Christmas dream come true? How can a man in red now change the world I thought I knew? How can there be miracles if hearts are filled with doubt? It's time I leave my doubts behind and find what life's about. I believe in a wondrous place he calls the imagination. I believe in his childhood world of hope and celebration. I believe in the miracle of love because, oh yes, I believe in Santa Claus. It's no easy feat on a city street to touch a weary heart, but in my heart the dream begins, and a miracle will start. I believe in a wondrous place he calls the imagination. I believe in his childhood world of hope and celebration. I believe in the miracle of
York State versus Kris Kringle. The Honorable Judge Harper presiding.
Thank you. Order in the courtroom.
Your Honor, the state calls Mr. Kris Kringle to the stand.
Merry Christmas, Your Honor.
Mr. Kringle, are you Santa Claus?
I am, sir.
State will rest.
Any questions?
None, Your Honor, but I do have one request.
Your Honor, sign the papers. It's quite late and Christmas Eve.
Before you do, Your Honor, I'll convince you to believe that Mr. Kringle is as sane as any man around. And I will prove he's Santa Claus.
He's crazy. He's unsound.
Order in the courtroom. Mr. Gailey, please proceed.
Your Honor, there's a passage from this book I'd like to read. It's about a distinguished and dependable part of our government. I'm referring to the United States Postal Service.
Your Honor!
Overruled.
Through rain and snow and sleet and hail, the mail gets through and without fail. Our mailmen work both day and night to get each card and letter right. Through sleet and hail and rain and snow, these men decide where mail will go, and where they bring each letter to provides the proof that you are you. It is a crime to willfully misdirect mail to the wrong person or party.
That has nothing to do with this case.
The court will need to see specific evidence. Put it here on my desk, Mr. Gailey.
Your Honor, there is none.
But there is, Your Honor.
Nonsense!
In the courtroom, Mr. Gailey, put it here.
But, Your Honor.
Mr. Gailey, am I making myself clear? Put it here.
But, Your Honor.
Put it here, Mr. Gailey. Put it here.
Very well, Your Honor. Here's the proof you're looking for.
Where is it, Mr. Gailey?
It's marching through that door. Bring it in, fellas. Your Honor, each and every letter here is addressed to Santa Claus, and the United States Postal Service, a division of the U.S. government, freely and deliberately sends these letters to the man before you. Therefore, you must conclude that our government acknowledges this man, Kris Kringle, to be the one and only Santa Claus.
In the courtroom, Mr. Gailey, I agree. If our mailmen say he's Santa Claus,
Yes, we say he's Santa Claus.
that's good enough for me. Case dismissed.
This is the best Christmas gift anyone could receive. Speaking of which, I'd better get going. After all, it's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everyone!
And so, dear Chris, Mr. Macy officially proclaimed you to be the one and only Santa Claus. But the best was yet to come. For the next day, driving home from a Christmas party, I found my dream house, just as I described it to you so long ago. Mother and Mr. Gailey agreed to buy it on the spot. And that's when we saw the cane leaning beside the fireplace. It looked just like your cane. Now, some may call it a coincidence, but me, I believed then as I do now. Faith is believing in something when common sense tells you not to. Have a happy Christmas, Santa. Your good friend, Susan.